Welcome back to Prophy Plays. I am Prophy, and we are going to get back into playing some Shadow Dark here. So the story behind this one, this is not a continuation of anything that I've done in the past before with Shadow Dark. This is a new set of people. So the story here is that what I have started a Shadow Dark game that I'm running for some of my friends in the Northern Reaches of Radoslav. I know. Kelsey has the Western Reaches that she just kickstarted this year, or maybe last year. But in any case, I came up with the Northern Reaches before I knew about the Western Reaches, so there's that. Anyway, so for whatever that's worth. And it is set up as really kind of that a Western Marches style, where I'm not running with like a huge group of people in multiple groups and all that. No, I'm just kind of running the one group whoever can happen to make it that month, that kind of thing. In any case, one thing that I'm doing with this, I'm doing the 3-2-1 method, which I have heard described by Sly Flourish in one of his videos. So the idea of the 3-2-1 method, if you've not heard this, is that as the game master, you present your characters with 3 story hooks. They get to choose which one they do. After they resolve that one, they can go back and there are still 2 remaining story hooks. They pick one of those. And then after they do that, the third story hook, the one that did not get chosen, goes away. Right. And then you give them three new story hooks. So the basic idea is that this way you're preparing things enough that you have your party gets to make choices about what they do and what they don't do. However, at the same time, you're not wasting a lot of prep. Now, in order to minimize that even more, what I've decided to do is after my party has done two of these adventure prompts, the third one is going to fall to my solo crew. I'm calling them. I believe they're called like the Dread Wardens or something like that was the name that I rolled up. It's just something out of the book. In any case, so these are the rival crawlers here that are involved with this Adventurers Guild that I run solo. So let me introduce them to you, and then also what this adventure is, the rumor that's driving it, and all of that. Okay, so welcome to Shadow Dark. So I have my 2 characters here. So one of them is Tanabark. Tanabark is a half orc fighter. Um, her stats are pretty much garbage. It's true. It's true. When I rolled her up, she's going to be level 5 as far as that goes. I didn't write down what her title is as a level 5 fighter, with a specialty in great axe, and that is that. But she does also carry a longbow and arrows. We have my other character then is an elf by the name of Kivessen Inakalim. uh, Kivessen, be it. Kivessen is a thief, specifically of the burglar rank, and is a level 4 in that. Running the different levels, that's fine, I don't care. All right, so we have these 2 characters are the ones that are going to be picking up this rumor. Now, this is something where it's kind of weird running this thing because like I designed the adventure, right? So it's going to feel a little bit strange to me, I think, running it because I know what's there, right? But in any case, let's try it. Okay. The rumor was this, which is probably not at all possible to be read on your screen, but that's okay. It is a shopkeeper from Brana. Brana is the name of the city that is kind of there on the border. The story is that there's this big wall which was built 1,000 years ago, and there was a gate put in the wall. The gate city was named Brana, and the gate was sealed with magic and closed physically, and that's that. Until recently, the gate was reopened. As the family line of the family uh, that installed the wall has ended, and there wasn't like a revolution or anything. Just like the noble said, "Okay, well, and you would be the sensible person to run it," and the person said, "Oh, well, let's go ahead and open the door." And that's it. So they removed all of the magical seals and opened the door, and now adventure, and they sponsored an adventuring guild to send people in to find out what's going on. So these rumors come from either people are here who have like these family stories, as was the case here, or sometimes they're things from the archives. The archives don't have a lot of information about what is on the other side of this. They're in the northern reaches of Radoslav, but nonetheless, there's some information. Right? So that's the idea. So we are going to be getting these rumors from various sources and sending people out to investigate them. that's that. And part of the deal is that they will be paid right by the Adventurers Guild 25 gold for each time they report back, reporting on whatever it is that they found when they pursued one of these rumors. Okay, so that's that. So it's going to be a very occasional series, probably like every few months, because my group is only getting together about once a month at best. 'Cause honestly, we met in April, and the last time we met was September, right? So 5 months have passed. In any case, let's go ahead and here we are, mid-September or so in Game World. So it's late summer, early fall, as Tanabark and Kivessen are heading out to investigate this heirloom at their home at this homestead. It is fairly close to the wall. I have here my map, right? So the map is actually two pieces, right? So it's like this, so something. So this is the northern part, and then here's the southern part that this is attached to, like so, right? So it turns out though our wall runs right along the bottom of this map. It's right along the bottom here. And we are going to be going not very far in. Right, so the gate opens right into this um, hex, and the hex where this is supposed to be is right there. So it's not that far. Right, so I'm going to say that we're leaving here in the morning of, here we are in mid-September. I mean, September 14th is the day that I'm recording this, so let's just go ahead and say that that's what it is. Okay, so it's September 14th, and we are heading through, and we're going to see, well, first we need to do a little bit of traveling, see how long it takes us to get there, and then when we get there, see what we see. What's that? All right, so I'm going to use the Shadows of the Wild travel rules. We are going to have here. All right, so let's go. It's an intelligence roll, which means this is something that we absolutely do not want Tanabark to do because that would be a bad idea. So we're going to go ahead and have Kivessen be the one that is leading us there. It has to be it's a DC 12 intelligence roll. Okay, so let's give it a shot as he is leading the way, and we'll also then have the other keep watch. So leading the way, 15. 15 is enough for us to get through here to where we're going. And then what about keeping watch? This is a wisdom roll. The wisdom roll for the other. Oh, it's unmodified. 13. 13 is enough to get a little bit of a bonus on the distance roll if there happens to be a random encounter. And so for random encounters, the way that those work using the Shadows of the Wild, this is all based on the actual Shadow Dark rules, but with a little bit of modification. I'm going to go ahead and roll this. This is safe terrain, which means we only check one time in a travel round. So as we travel through into the next hex, just check once. If it's a 1, then I have an encounter. If it's not a 1, we don't. It's not a 1, it's a 3. So no encounter. Simple enough. Right, so we wander through the woods and come out into the plains, and we can see, right, in the distance, uh, Kivessen in particular can see, because Kivessen is far-sighted as an elf, can see ahead there is a homestead. This homestead looks quite old. It has definitely seen better days as far as that goes, but on the other hand, it's still here after 1,000 years, right? So there is this farmhouse here. Okay. All right. So what's left of the structure, it's built of stone. It is crumbling. The doors here have rotten away. Right, so that is where we are. Okay. So here's what we've got. So we would be coming in on the ground floor. Now, this says it is rotted, so we don't really have to try that hard to get in here. Now, we are told here, just a few notes as we look in this. So what do we have in here? There's like a little side table. There is a rocking chair. There's a bookshelf with various books on it. Um, and we also have, okay, 1d4. So I have to roll one. Oh, okay, a certain amount of time the floor is going to collapse, right? So Let me go ahead and roll that. Okay, so this says 1D. I rolled my 1D4. It's a 4. I don't like that 1D4, so I'm just going to add a different one. But I do remember that it's a 4. So I have 4 rounds until the floor is going to collapse. That's not great, right? But we're going to be out of here soon. Now, another thing we do see, there is a hole right in the floor as well, right there. So I think what makes sense for us to do, right? So Kivessen, being our thief, is going to go in first and kind of take a look around. And I believe Kivessen, it makes sense that he would be able to evaluate that one, things are obviously not stable here. Now, he's spending a little bit of time looking. Because he's spending time looking, that's going to take a round. So I'm going to push my round counter down a little bit. I think it's kind of amusing because my, you know, I'm just checking. Yeah, there's some lag in my camera, which is amusing. Right, so, yeah, this isn't the first time that's happened, right? So, if you can't tell, I'm at a little bit. I'm in the same garage location as normal, but I have like pushed the table that I'm set up on more toward the center of the garage, which is really changing my lighting. So I'm being lit like more from the side here, and I'm not sure why I have so much light on this side of my face, to be perfectly honest. I suppose it might be coming in from like the garage door has a window. Okay, distracted. Um, in any case, right? So he's gone in, he's looking around, he has sensed that they don't have very long until this all collapses. On the other hand, I do also know there is a scroll of mage armor here. Now, neither of my people are mages. They don't have much use, right, for a scroll of mage armor. So I think they're probably just going to leave that there. Um, and just proceed on in. Now we know that they want to. All we know is that there's an heirloom somewhere here. Have we told what the heirloom is? I don't think we have. I don't think we have. Okay, so actually, let's go ahead. Maybe we will take that scroll. Right, so the scroll of mage armor is taken. Now I think it makes sense here that probably it's not going to be these books, and these books are going to basically be um, pointless. Try to grab. So I'm going to go ahead and take the scroll. All right. And then what else? I think maybe we're going to go in here. As we go into the kind of the back room here, what we see looks like there's a table and chair here. There's a chimney as well. We also have there's a locked door going upstairs. So I think it may make sense to me that going upstairs would be a reasonable thing to do. I mean, if you have an heirloom, having it upstairs, that makes sense to me. Right? So I think that that is what we're going to think is happening. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So we're going to go up the stairs this way. All right. So following upstairs. Oh, wait. We can't. There's a locked door. All right. So that means Kivessen being the one that has. Okay. So is there any kind of time pressure on us? I don't know. Okay. Wait. I need to find the level of difficulty on this one. I don't think that I put it here. Let's assume this is just unsafe, which means we would check for every 3 turns, right? So has it been 3 turns at this point? I don't think so. Because I think what we did 2 things in this room, we did 1 thing. Okay, I guess that would be 3 turns. Let's go ahead and roll it. Yep, no random encounter yet. Okay, so we need to open this locked door. Is there time pressure? Well, yes, technically there is. Right, so we do, however, get advantage on this roll. Okay, there it is. Right, so let's roll. You get to roll twice and keep the high. We're just going to assume it's DC 12. That's a 16 and plus 0, so that would get Kivessen in. Okay. All right, so we do get to go up the stairs then. Right, so that'd be, I believe, 1. Um, and at this point, I'm just kind of assuming that Tanabark is following Kivessen through because this is more thiefy kind of stuff. We'll see what happens if fighting breaks out. So up here, we do have what looks to be a 60-foot hallway or so, about 10 feet wide. It's a nice wide hallway upstairs. And there's really nothing here, so I think we need to go in one of these other doors. So I think it makes sense. Kivessen is going to open one of these doors. I don't know that we know which one it's going to be, so let's just say evens, odds. It's an odd. So we're going to go into this room. So we come into this room, and in this room we find three giant spiders. Well, isn't that fantastic? All right, so let's go ahead and uh, look up giant spiders to see how these things run. Spiders, giant. Okay. A bulbous abdomen and 8 spindly legs, dwells high in trees or caves and ambushes prey, capturing them to eat later. It does have poison as well. All right, so let's see what's going to happen here. Well, we want to roll for initiative. So let's see. I'm going to roll my side's initiative. It's at a +0. Their side's initiative is going to be at a +3. Oh crap! Ours is white. Yeah. I think their 21 beats our 2. So the spiders get the drop on us. Now Kivessen is the one that goes in first. So sensibly, Kivessen's going to be the one that gets attacked first. So I think that two of the three, because there are three spiders, I think two of them are going to attack Kivessen first. Right. So we're going to go ahead and roll that. Kivessen has an AC of 12, and they both would hit, I believe. Yeah, it's an attack of +3. Oh gosh. And they also get 1d4 plus poison damage for Kivessen. So Kivessen takes 1 from that one and 4 from the other. So Kivessen is down to 1 hit point. Okay. And then also has to make a couple con saves. So it's DC 12. Okay, that one is a fail. That one is a success. But he is paralyzed now for 4 hours. Well, isn't that great? Serious. Okay, well, anyway. Um, so at this point we get to act. Well, I think the most sensible thing here is the Tanabark is going to be like, we're not doing this, right? Um, and we'll run. But because we are lawfully aligned, Tanabark is going to try to gather up Kivessen and carry him out. It makes sense. This would work. She has grit that is applied to strength rolls, so she can roll strength. It's not going to be that hard for her to carry him either. Let's just say the 12. Yeah, there's the 14. 14 is enough, even without a modifier, and Tanabark doesn't have a modifier. It's just a 0. Right, so Tanabark grabs Kivessen, and they book it. I mean, Kivessen does it. Kivessen gets carried out. All right, so that is what happened with that one. And I think that they're just going to try to leave as far as that goes. So I think they have decided this one is not worth it um, right now. Things went very, very badly for them, so they're going to make their way back. I think sensibly they are going to wait and rest a bit. It is now going to, so I think that I am going to play them coming back. Right, so this was, so they got there about midday, and that's when all this happened. And I think that they left, they gave Kivessen the chance to recover, so Kivessen is in fact no longer paralyzed, right? So I can go ahead and erase this paralyzed for 4 hours thing. But because we are waiting, that does open up the opportunity for another random encounter, which did not happen. Okay, but now we're hitting evening. So in evening, I think it makes sense. We want to make camp. We don't want to try to force our way back at nighttime. So let's go ahead and make camp. Either one of us could do this. It's a 12 intelligence or wits. Either one of those. Intelligence or wisdom. Okay. It doesn't really matter which of them does it. It's either let's say, okay, let's have Kivessen do this using intelligence, I suppose. All right, so using intelligence, here we go. I need a 12, or we fail. I got a 14, so no failure. Excellent. All right, so we make camp, and then let's check for another random encounter. Another random encounter, arresting overnight. No random encounter. Excellent. That means then that Kivessen is back to full hit points. Right, and then they travel their way home. Kivessen will lead the way and fail, while at the same time we have keeping watch is also a failure. Okay. So any random encounter? No. Right, so they get lost on the way back in the morning. Come to midday, they're continuing to try to make their way home. Failed again, and nor did they manage to keep watch. All right, so now we've been hiking for 2 turns. That means the next one, while we can continue hiking, it is going to be, um, oh, what is the rule here? It requires a con check to be allowed to do it. All right, so can we try again? Let's see. Let's both do con checks. It's a +2 here and fail it. Okay, so the answer is no. No, we can't. All right, right. So we are forced then, right, to make camp again. This time we fail. It's miserable. We just can't get home. Just can't get home. I should probably give him advantage on this roll, but I don't think that would help because we are failing and failing and failing. All right, so let's go ahead and now that we're making camp, because we can't find our way home, we're just stuck here in these plains, wandering around in circles. Making camp, do we get a mishap? 8 would be a mishap. The firewood is wet. The fire goes out. The danger level is deadly while we are resting here tonight. Right, so here we are, second night that we're spending outside of this homestead because we just cannot find the path home. And we need to make an enormous check for a random encounter. It's 6 dice. Any one is a random encounter. And I got not a single one. Not a single one. I got a couple twos, a couple fours, a 3, and a 6. Ah! So our firewood was wet. Um, so we didn't actually have any fire. It was a bad situation for us in terms of potential for something coming up and attacking us. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. So next morning, I'm going to say we do have advantage because we are following a path back that we've used before. Right. So again, let's have Kivessen try to guide us there. Good. 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 14. 14. We'll do it. Right, so we managed to make it back without any real problems. Let's go ahead and do our downtime stuff because it's going to be a while before they embark again. So first thing, it is the policy of the Adventurers Guild that they do pay 25 gold to anybody who goes out on an expedition. So I will go ahead and give 25 gold as long as they report back in. So I'm going to have to write up a little report that I'm going to put on that note card. Um, all right. And we did get a Scroll of Mage Armor, and Scroll of Mage Armor is fairly valuable, so I believe that would be worth 3 XP to each of them. Pretty sure that's the way the XP awards work. It might actually be worth a little more than that. Let's see. Magic Sword is 3, so it makes sense that so basically magic would be 3 XP. Now we're nowhere near either of them leveling up with that. Like not even close. Um, but what we can do is they could go carousing potentially and earn some more XP that way. Alternatively, they could spend their money on gear. I'm thinking right now, I want to look up the carousing rules because it makes sense to me they may want to do some of that. Um, so I'm going to double check that first. So here we are. Carousing 92 is where that is in the book. 92 is where that is in the book, which would be after the 70s. There we are. All right, so it's going to cost a minimum of 30 gold between the two of them to do this. That makes sense, right? So let's say they each spend 15. So they each have 10 gold remaining, which we can use to buy stuff next turn, or next time I play. There we are. So that's good. So next time, what are we going to do? Oh, wait, we need to roll then. So, what did their carousing rolls result in? That's a good question. So, there's my carousing roll die. This has a modifier of a +0 on it. So let's go ahead and roll this. So we have the Thieves Guild bilked you for 5% of your total wealth, but you gain 4 XP. Okay, so let's say that one is what happens to Kivessen. Right, so it gains 4 XP, which is good. That's up to 7 then. And lost 5% of the total wealth, which would be half of a gold piece. So they're down to 9 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces. And then what happens to Tanabark? What happens to her? Old 6 is exactly the same thing. Okay. So again, 9.5. Rather 9 gold, 5 silver in exchange for 4 XP up to 7. Wonderful. Now we do have this scroll of mage armor. I think that they're just going to keep it for now, and that may be something that shows up later. Maybe it's something that my like my friends party who are playing this, maybe that's something that they might possibly trade for. But for now, I think that that was not a very successful session. I didn't think it would be that bad. I really didn't. So I just have to check, right? So now Kelsey Dion suggests, right? So let me go ahead and like read this kind of balance to you, okay? So the question is, how many monsters should there be in an encounter, right? Right. So 105, I believe, might possibly be where this is mentioned. Um, no, that's not. There's this average build of a monster 192. Is that it? Maybe there it is. There it is. Okay. Right. So here's what they suggest, right? So if your party average party level is 4 to 6, right, then you should be able on in a one-on-one case to use third level monster, right? So say between the two of them, right, we should be able, if we did it one-on-one, we should be able to put 2 level 3 monsters at them, which means we total of 6 levels, right? Now I gave them giant spiders. Now a giant spider, according to the book, is a level 3 creature. Right, so I did have them. They were a little bit outmatched. Right, so instead of it being 1-on-1, it was 3-on-2. Right, so it was a little bit overbalanced. Not overbalanced, but a little bit balanced against the party. But I feel like things went way worse than that. Um, I mean, nobody died, I suppose, but that's that. Interesting. So there we are. That's that. Leveling is like balancing encounters. It's a very tricky thing to get your hand on. Just as a quick other note on that, when my party played yesterday with my group of friends, I had 4 level 2 characters, and according to the formula, if you're level 0 to 3, then you should be able to one-on-one to take level 1 monsters, is the idea. And so I gave them 4 orcs. Orcs are not really that difficult in terms of their mechanics. The way that they work, they are kind of the classic balloons with hammers, right? With the exception that they're also hard to hit, right? But if you hit them, they don't have very many hit points. It's like 4 hit points for an orc. On the other hand, AC 15, so it's kind of hard to hit them, and they have kind of nasty attack advantage as far as not advantage, but attack bonuses as far as that goes. So it ended up with what would have been a TPK, but everybody still had a luck token. I just let them all trade them in to save the their party's lives, so the orcs had taken them captive, and basically said, "What's up with this?" Fortunately, half the party was chaotic, the other half was neutral, so the orcs didn't really necessarily feel a need to just kill them all. I'm too kind. It's true. Right. So I kind of let that happen, and I think that did change the way they played later on, as they realized death was a very real possibility. In any case, we learned here that this it was not as balanced as one might hope. Um, that was actually really nasty. So, as for now, we'll see what adventure they have here in a few months. Um, but for now, this is Profi signing off.